Welcome to the 63rd episode of Gary's English Learning Center.
Yeah, it's quite a special show, isn't it, Eddie, really, yeah?
Anyway, it has been a long time that we... Anyway, where have you been?
Yeah, where have I been? I've been in Hong Kong all the time.
Okay.
But you've been wandering around the road, globe-trotting, haven't you?
Globe-trotting.
Globe-trotting.
Yeah. That's a very... very nice description of my trips. Okay. But anyway, this is the first show. Our first show in 2016.
Yeah, you know, it's been like 3 years now. Eddie, we've been doing these shows.
Oh, just I stopped counting.
Yeah, this is about the third anniversary. It's about
the third anniversary.
It's exactly 3 years.
But anyway, it seems that the beginning of this year is not an auspicious year.
No, it's not an auspicious start, really, is it?
Not an auspicious start.
No.
And I think we are, some people are mourning for the passing away of two very significant Englishmen.
Yeah.
Should I say that?
Yeah. Stars, isn't it? Really?
Stars. And the first one is of course is David Bowie, and second one is Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman, yeah.
And both passed away at the age of 69.
Yeah, it's a funny coincidence, isn't it?
Yeah. I would say it is a sad coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and because of that, I suggest that we do a tribute to David Bowie in this show.
That would be nice. Yeah.
And we do that without any preparation.
Mm-hmm.
I just say that, Gary, why don't we do a show on David Bowie? And what was your response?
I think we should do, really. Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
we should, because he's a major figure, isn't he?
Yeah.
Major figure, you know.
Yeah. And to tell you the truth, I have been listening to him for more than say 30 years.
Yeah, I've been listening to him for more than 40 years.
Because you're older than me.
Yeah, because I'm a bit older. Yeah. And you know, and I also remember the time, Eddie, that before all these pop stars, you know, I was around in England before those pop stars when the BBC had a program called Housewives' Choice. And you know, the number one hit before the Beatles was "How much is that doggy in the window?" How much is that doggy in the window? It was just you no idea what the music scene wasn't, you know. Yeah. And then they had the pirate radio from the North Sea, you know.
Yeah.
And
pardon me for using this expression. This is stuff for the old farts.
Yeah. Well, just to give you some history. It's music history, you know. Music history, you know. And it was just such a change, you know. People were so square, you know, before the early 60s, you know. So, you know, and I grew up in... you know,
boring.
Yeah, well, they're boring, is it really, you know, really conforming, you know, and everybody wore the same dull clothes and everything like that, you know. Yeah. And then pop music exploded. Or you know, by itself, so it seemed anyway, you know. Yeah.
And that will be one of the most interesting times in the 20th century.
Oh, it was like an amazing time.
You were lucky to born in the 60s.
Yeah, and we're very close to London as well.
Yeah. Were you close to London?
Yeah. I mean, you know, we did the hometown program. It's Watford, you know. It's very close. It's 1 kilometre from the border of London, you know.
Yeah. And I would say one would try to compare David Bowie with, say, Oscar Wilde. And the reason why is that I remember one saying of Oscar Wilde. I'm not sure whether you consider this smart or not, but I think this is a very smart saying. One should either be a work of art or wear a work of art.
That's Oscar Wilde.
You know, my accent does not do justice. My accent is not good enough for this.
Do a work of art or wear a work of art.
Yeah. Would you say
do a work of art or wear a work of art?
With that kind of accent.
Yeah. With that kind of emphasis, really, isn't it? It's the intonation.
Yeah. And I would say David Bowie is a work of art.
Yeah, I'm not using.
He was a work of art. I say he is a work of art.
Yeah. Yeah, he still is, isn't he? You know.
Yeah. And for me, he never dies. He is immortal.
Yeah. Well, his art is anyway. Yeah.
No, I mean, he is not an earthling. I would say he is from the outer space.
Yeah, Major Tom to ground control.
Yeah.
At that time, that came out in '69, which of course was the same time that man supposedly went to the moon.
Yeah. And the reason why he wrote this song, Starman, and later Space Oddity. One of the reasons was that he tried to catch that mood of the moon. The moon. What? The moon
landing. Yeah.
Moon landing. Yeah.
That's so cool. Anyway. But actually, Starman came afterwards. You know.
Yeah.
And when Starman was really more kind of like getting children to rebel. You know, really. Yeah. And the contents of those lyrics is saying, look, your parents are boring. There's a starman out there, and only you can hear him. There's a starman waiting in the sky.
Yeah.
He'd like to come and and thinks he'll blow our minds.
Yeah. Which was an American expression.
Yeah, well, it's amazing how kind of like they were like hip expressions, you know.
Hip
expression, you know. But that's Space Oddity, you know. When I heard about his passing away, you know, and I couldn't help myself, I started to listen to David Bowie that evening, and I spent the evening listening to David Bowie. But still,
it was actually Gary who messaged me about his death.
That was the first you heard,
yeah? You were the first man who told me about this.
I knew you'd be interested because I know he's a fan. You know, you're a big fan, Eddie, right? I know you are. You know, and still that Space Oddity album is still my favourite album. You know,
Until now?
Still, you know, I listen to some of the others, but it's quite rich, you know, it's the musical content and the lyrics are amazing, really.
Yeah.
And as you say, the Ziggy Stardust album as well, you know.
Yeah, and being a true fan of David Bowie, I would not avoid to discuss this. Actually, I guess Space Oddity and Ashes to Ashes are about drug addiction.
I mean, I didn't realise that at the time, the Space Oddity one, but Ashes to Ashes made it quite plain.
Really. Very plain, and you just read the lyrics and then you're clear about that. It was about
fun to funky. We all know Major Tom's a junkie, right?
Yeah.
You know,
strung out in heaven's high. Hitting the low time, the all-time low. And Ashes to Ashes was about the difficulty of kicking that habit.
There's a lot of songs that you don't realise that are about that kind of thing. You know, really.
Yeah. And since I am a true friend of David Bowie, I have to tell you this. When he was in Hong Kong in 1983, he had 2 concerts. And I was in both of them. And have you been?
You performing?
No. But I was in the front row.
Right.
Yeah. Very, very close to him.
Yeah.
And have you seen any of his concerts before?
I haven't actually. You know.
What a pity. What a shame.
I live near London, and I saw the Stones, I saw the Who, I saw Dylan, and so many others, really. But there were just so many to see, you know.
There
were just so many to see. You couldn't catch them all.
It was a very, very exciting time because I guess if you were in London, say in the 70s or the 80s, you got a lot of bands who will make you crazy.
You couldn't, because the Stones, I was there in the front row for their Wembley Arena concert, for example. And I felt great when the bucket of water came up to me. Wow, I got soaked by the bucket of water.
And going back,
I can do a Mick Jagger impersonation.
Okay, I'm watching your lips.
Mick Jagger, he used to be like in the 70s, right? Like that,
And going back to David Bowie, and what is his major appeal to you as an Englishman?
I just like his songs. I mean, to me, I like his songs more than David Bowie himself. For me, right? I'm not a big David Bowie save thing.
That kind of chameleon appearances.
I just like the sound of some of the songs. I just like some of the songs he's made. And I think a big part of David Bowie was Mick Ronson.
Yeah. You have to be very, deep into his whole band to appreciate that, because some people say that Mick Ronson is one of the most underrated guitarists in the whole music history.
Yeah,
I mean pop music history.
Yeah, the man who sold the world, for example.
Yeah,
what would it be?
Yeah. Which means that you like
Ziggy play guitar. Good.
Which means that you like his songs more than his look.
Yeah. For me, I like the songs. There was the man who sold the world, China Girl.
Yeah.
What a song that was,
Yeah.
And when he did with Queen,
Under Pressure.
Under Pressure, that was next. That's still applicable today, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's even more so today, really.
I use this song when I got my own personal problems.
Or even just catching the MTR.
Or they show the whole underground railway traffic jam.
Yeah.
In the MTV.
Yeah.
In this Under Pressure.
Yeah, it is. Tonight it was like being, those Japan in its heyday when they push people into the train.
Yeah. And why do you think his songs were that great? One thing is that they were always, he always kind of like you say, he was a chameleon. He always changed, didn't he? He didn't get stuck in one genre, really, and so they're always kind of like very special, weren't they? I think maybe he just had a great imagination. And I can use another word to describe this. He was always doing experiments in music.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And he's so popular. From my English correspondent, I found out this week. And he said that in the Guardian newspaper, the day after, there were 8 pages devoted to David Bowie. 8 pages.
Yeah.
And the front cover was the picture of David Bowie.
Yeah.
And they had a 4-page pull-out spread of him.
Yeah.
And the obituary. Obituary. The story of the people's life, kind of thing, was 2 pages long.
Yeah.
And there was another couple of pages here and there, articles about him, which is quite incredible. And and the Guardian's quite a serious newspaper,
Yeah, well. At least it is leftist.
Leftist, quite. It's quite. It's leftist.
We don't like in Hong Kong. We don't like leftists these days.
We don't.
No, I don't. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm saying us.
Generally, yeah.
In general.
It's going swinging too far to the right, really, isn't it?
Yeah. But anyway, as an Englishman, do you have a list of English artists or writers whom you think can represent England in the 20th century?
Well, see, I would, like take them in or swallow up.
Or scientists.
But of course, the music stars, like Bowie or like Mick Jagger or anybody like that kind of thing, And there's like people like entrepreneurs, like Richard Branson.
The boss of Virgin.
Boss of Virgin, and I'm a West Ham fan, and there's Karen Brady who's masterminding West Ham at the moment. West Ham, the football team.
Never heard of him.
Anyway, a woman.
A woman.
She's a Dame Karen Brady. And next season they take the Olympic Stadium.
I should correct myself. I never heard of her.
It's the stars, really, isn't it? I mean, writers. I don't know.
Well, there are so many excellent English writers.
Yeah.
Such as John Fowles.
Yeah.
I guess you have to agree with me on that.
Yeah.
The Maggots.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Or let's say,
J.K. Rowling.
Oh,
I'm not saying she's great, Amy. I'm not saying she's great. You know, I'm not saying that really. You know, and I'm still not. I don't believe she actually writes.
What a disappointment!
No, but I don't actually believe that she writes the books herself. Even right, it's too much. You know, 700 pages every year. But I'm just saying who you asked me who represented England, right?
Yeah,
so if you ask somebody, you know, if you ask somebody who who's the most prominent, really.
You're not talking about whether you like them or not. You just say that if you talk any guys outside of London, that people will recognize these people.
Yeah, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
They
made it at once.
They would, wouldn't they? You know, that's what I thought you were after, really.
Yeah,
you know?
But at least David Bowie will be on your list.
Yeah, he will. Yeah. He's definitely.
Yeah. And so, why do you think he has such kind of appeal? I mean, outside of England, I would say he is an international icon.
Mm-hmm.
And even in Asia.
Well, you know better than me about Asia, yeah.
When you mentioned Guardian have this 6 pages,
8
pages about him when he passed away in Hong Kong, in the Chinese news, one of the Chinese newspapers, the Apple Daily, used him as a cover.
They did, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry that
after Sunday,
you don't notice. Yeah. You didn't notice that.
No.
Yeah. What about the Red China Morning Post?
yeah. Well, I just get the standard. Really, I haven't got time. Well, I stopped getting the Red China set.
No,
I stopped getting it. I don't believe in it.
No, forget about this.
Yeah,
forget about this.
Robert Kuok, I've talked about him before.
Yeah,
he's not a good man. Is he the owner of that?
I don't know about him. But anyway, to go back to that question, I guess it's just because he used a lot of Asia aesthetics elements in his early appearances.
He did, yeah. He
and one of the designer of his clothes was from Japan.
That's right, from Japan. Yeah,
Kenzai Yamamoto.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the Impressionists, didn't they? They used Japanese woodcuts, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah. So, in a certain sense, we can relate to his aesthetic sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And of course, there was China Girl, as I say.
Yeah. And another thing that not too many people mention about him is that he was an autodidact. I'm not sure whether I pronounced the word right now. This means that he studied on his own.
Right.
And he read a lot of books, and especially about arts and writings. And there was one writer whom he actually learned a lot of things when he was creating the lyrics of his song. He was one of those beatniks writers, and William Burroughs, who wrote The Naked Lunch.
Right.
Yeah. And so people forgot that he was a very, very hardworking artist.
He also dabbled in the occult, didn't he?
What?
He also dabbled in the occult.
I mentioned it when I did the show about him in Cantonese.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that was true because in the 70s he was deep in the drug addict.
He was a friend of Jimmy Page, wasn't he?
Yeah, and they all read Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, Aleister Crowley.
Yeah,
666 the Beast.
Yeah, when I say autodidact, I mean this.
Yeah. I got it. Yeah. I got it. When you, I did.
Did I pronounce it?
Yeah. Just a bit quickly. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Autodidact. Yeah.
Would you mind?
I suppose I am really. I mean.
Would you mind explain this?
Well, just self-taught, really.
You taught yourself.
Self-taught.
Yeah. You teach yourself to learn.
Yeah.
All kinds of things.
Yeah. I suppose I haven't fallen in that category. I suppose a lot of us do, really, don't we?
Yeah.
The teacher can only do so much in the classroom, can't they?
And the amazing thing about him is that he always tried to improve himself throughout his whole career, and never stuck in one point.
No. No.
He just move on.
Yeah.
And it is very hard for people to do that because imagine that you got a lot of money and you almost got all kinds of things that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And you would say to yourself, why bother?
Yeah, you can satisfy every whim. Yeah, so why?
Yeah. But he was not like that. He just keep on moving. Yeah. And so it is
art for art's sake, not money for God's sake, right?
I don't know because I suppose he's a very rich man.
Yeah.
And at least in his early days, he was very concerned about commercial success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He tried to be. He tried his best to make sure his records sold well.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that he sacrificed the artistic content of his albums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was he selected to be famous?
Oh, you use a very, very good word, selected.
Yeah, because there is some people do say that all those major stars are actually selected. They're actually there on a mission to program the people. To program the people. And Bowie actually means a double-edged sword.
Oh,
or a blonde
you can sense that when you listen to his song Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The good side and bad sides of being famous. Yeah. But I'm sorry that I interrupt you when you mentioned his occult practice. So would you mind to elaborate on that?
Well, yeah. Sometimes we haven't got the pictures here and everything like that, but sometimes you can see things like the third. Was it Aladdin's Sane? I can't remember.
Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah. The third eye.
Oh yeah. Since you mentioned that,
and you can see pictures on the internet of him as an Egyptian pharaoh. For one thing.
Oh,
an Egyptian pharaoh and Basophet. I think it's Basophet.
Basophet.
Yeah, the goat devil god. The goat devil god. That the occultists, the Kabbalists actually worship.
But he was not the only one. I guess all those famous musicians in the 60s.
Well, this is it, but
we're in it.
But they
and remember that the cover of one of the Eagles albums.
The Beatles, definitely, yeah.
The Beatles, definitely.
Yeah.
In one of the Eagles album, the cover.
Yeah.
They have this Baphomet.
Yeah. And the Stones, Goat's Head Soup.
Yeah. Only that people at that time did not have the sense to realize this.
No, we you didn't. You weren't aware of it. Even though I saw on your program you had the Cosmic Trigger, and I got that book. I was a young teenager. The cover looked different in those days. I don't know, but I got that book. Numerology and occultism and that kind of thing. But I had the sense that was not good. That was evil. Actually, I did have the sense that wasn't good. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I did. When I read the book,
I don't have.
I thought it was fascinating, but I thought,
I don't know anything about that at all. So really. I don't consider it evil.
But they said, like Jimmy Page said, they said that they had kind of like orgies and stuff in the mansion he brought from Aleister Crowley, and that kind of thing. They said, oh no, well, we weren't really having occult practices. They're not really. We're just playing.
Yeah.
But were they?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But rumor has that after Jimmy Page bought this house, he was in the total bad luck.
Right. Yeah, well, it should be. Yeah.
Would you say serve him right?
Yeah, that's the expression. Yeah, serve him right, really.
Serve him right. Yeah.
As much as I like a lot of some of the Led Zeppelin songs and that.
Yeah, but do you have any explanation? Can you explain why all these musicians or artists they engage in all these occult practices in those days?
Well, you know, it's which came first, the chicken or the egg. You know, it's like that, really. You know, it's
another very eight.
They're made to be stars, right? The channels are kind of open for you to be a star, you know, and then you have a mission to accomplish. And some people say that the Beatles were there to encourage people to take drugs and to go to India as well, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know, they went to see they went to see the Guru.
Yeah.
So everybody think, wow, hey, I hadn't heard of gurus before. Let's go and see a guru, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
So would that remind you of the story of Dr. Faustus?
You know, and
Dr. Faustus.
Maybe. That was kind of like a weird album I bought because it was so cheap. but that was weird, you know. But you know, it's really.
Yeah, and since Gary mentioned this occult practices of David Bowie, I have to tell you that in one of the back cover of his album, Station to Station, you got a picture of him drawing the tree of life.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. You see.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and even today, you know, you got the artist doing the devil's horns, and that even more.
What's that?
The devil's horns, isn't it?
This is devil's horn?
Yeah, devil's horns.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best phone.
Yeah. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
Well, we're showing up. But they do, don't they? And you know, and like we said before about the 666 and that kind of thing, you know, they're making these symbols, you know.
Yeah.
You know?
So he.
What I'm saying here, I think the media is controlled by the occult.
Oh yeah. I heard these rumors too, and people said that they all dabbled in things like Kabbalah and then tarot.
Yeah, tarot. Yeah.
Tarot. Yeah, and or maybe some evil satanic rituals.
The tarot was very popular in those days, you know.
I mean, it is still popular right now. Even in Hong Kong.
Wow, yeah.
I got a lot of friends who can
read the cards, and
we would say divine.
Yeah. Divine your fortune. Yeah.
Divine your fortune. Yeah. So, and again, do you have any explanation?
There is no fate but that which we make. To quote Terminator 2, you know.
Do you have any explanation for that? I mean, Kabbalah or tarot, on why people would like to engage in this.
And people just follow, don't they? They follow what's given them, you know. Remember before I said...
I mean, is it because they are not sure about their fate, their future?
They anxiety. But they, you know, I mean, you know, there was a question, like I say, called Old Chestnut. I said before, does life follow art, or does art follow life?
No.
Does art reflect life?
No. You forgot the expression. Life imitates art.
Life imitates art.
Which one?
But no. Yeah. That's right. Life imitates art. No.
That was Oscar Wilde, and it was Aristotle's word.
Yeah.
Art imitates life.
But no, actually.
Actually,
I believe today that life imitates art.
Yeah. And that is a very good description of David Bowie.
Yeah.
His life is an artwork.
Yeah. But people followed him because, you know, their lives followed his art.
Yeah.
You know. And
even
his whole androgyny thing, you know.
Androgyny. Yeah, we mentioned the word in our last show or what I forgot, but anyway, this means that you have both a masculine side and the feminine side in your personality.
Ambiguous.
Yeah.
Ambiguous sexuality.
And I would say that there is a political dimension to that. And when I mentioned Oscar Wilde at the beginning of the show, I guess he was one of the pioneers of trying to be both feminine and masculine.
Yeah, probably.
His appearance. And because of that, he sacrificed his career. And I would say he died because of that.
Yeah. And, but David Bowie's the opposite, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. And in a certain sense, some people say he was a martyr for being androgynous.
Mm-hmm.
And the lucky thing about David Bowie was that when he was this pop artist in the late 60s and in the early 70s, and people began to accept that kind of androgynous.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And when these people, when these fans of him become adults, they went into the political business or in the commercial sector, and they started to accept people who who thought and dressed like that.
Yeah.
And because of that, the society, especially in England, became more open.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
To at least weird people.
Yeah.
And I remember there's one very very good description of that. And after David Bowie, it is okay to be weird.
Yeah. And like I say, before those days, you can't believe how square people were,
and intolerant.
You just took the word out of my mouth there.
Yeah. Because my English is better than yours. Surely not.
I am not doing this.
And the reason why I say this is a political thing is that because of this acceptance, and in the political side, people became became more open to homosexuals, and to those people with the so-called alternative lifestyles.
Yeah.
And because of that, you got the legalization of homosexuality, which was in, I forgot the years.
I can't remember actually. Yeah.
As far as I remember, it is not too far.
Long ago, yeah.
Long ago.
No.
It was about in the 70s. Yeah. So right now, you will not be marginalized or being laughed at,
or even in prison.
because of being gay. Or
acceptance.
And being weird. And I think this is one of the major contributions of David Bowie as a cultural icon. Yeah. So this wrap ups our tribute to David Bowie.
Not so much a commemoration, more of a celebration.
No, because we are not the ones to do that. That will require a lot of I would say artists, musicians, and cultural commentators. And we are not those people. Okay.
No, we just want to do our little tribute anyway.
Yeah. So I don't want to use this word, but since it's just the way people say when they do the tribute, and I say, David Bowie, rest in peace.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Bye bye.